This episode of the Southwest of Center podcast is being brought to you by our exclusive sponsor, Cochise Country Music Festival, March 20th through the 22nd at the Forever Ranch in Benson. Country Western headliners include Rodney Atkins on Friday, Tracy Byrd on Saturday, and Mark Chestnut on Sunday. Gates open at 1 p.m. daily. There's RV and other camping. Friday and Saturday, there will be an after party until 1 a.m. Go to CochesCountryFest.com. That's CochesCountryFest.com for more information and tickets. Supported employment. What is it and why is it important to our communities? We're going to find out about a very special place called Desert Survivors. Let's go. For the following podcast episode, Desert Survivors would like to recognize longtime supporter Acacia IT. Locally owned IT support you can count on, passionate about supporting businesses in our community. Desert Survivors Executive Director Hannah Wilkie puts it this way. Acacia IT has been a true asset, friend, and supporter to Desert Survivors for more than 2 years, providing exceptional IT services. Acacia IT has helped Desert Survivors navigate critical IT infrastructure upgrades. Owners Greg and Christine Dernan have provided scholarships to business training programs, donated e-tablets so Desert Survivors staff can implement best practices, and have helped Desert Survivors network. Acacia IT understands the importance of community in business. Acacia IT is a valuable and vital partner to Desert Survivors, committed to helping nonprofits thrive and prosper. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am your host, Jeff Oldfather, for this episode of the Southwest of Center podcast. I have two very special guests with me, Jimmy Harmon, and he's an artist and a teacher, really prefers to call himself a teacher, and we have with us our friend from Desert Survivors, Hannah Wilkie, and you are the executive director, correct?
Correct.
All right, so thank you both for being here. Desert Survivors provides supported employment. About 100 individuals work there in that capacity. So the first thing we want to find out before we delve a little bit more deeply into this and find out about their very special project, a mural that ties into everything they do and is hopefully going to be a good adjunct or an attraction for their big spring sale coming up. But first, let's talk to Hannah Wilkie and find out the basics about supported employment. What is it, and what does Desert Survivors do?
Well, thanks for having me on again, Jeff.
Again, it's fun. You bet.
So Desert Survivors is an example of supported employment. There are other programs around in our communities that do the same type of work. Basically, what it means is that some people with disabilities need a little bit more time to get ready for the mainstream work environment. And they do that by dipping their toe in employment with supported employment.
Well, Desert Survivors, we should say right off the top, is an indigenous or native plant nursery.
Correct.
So how does that work? How do you bring the challenged, I'm going to call them mentally challenged, mentally handicapped, and some who are also physically challenged, into that environment and put them to work? What do they do?
Well, they do everything. I like to say they run the nursery and we just help them. So
I'd say that's pretty accurate.
So basically, when we're talking about these types of job seekers, they just need a little bit more time to hone those general workplace skills that apply to any job. So getting along with your coworkers, being able to self-regulate, managing the expectations of a boss and time commitment.
So there's social and work commitment skills involved too. It's not just employment.
Oh, absolutely. I personally feel like employment is a pretty holistic service. You need more than just the hard skill of whatever job you're doing to be successful.
Okay.
But for us, because our focus is on our plant nursery and our landscaping, they're also learning how to work with plants and how to do some basic skills in the trades.
Okay, and this is, again, about 100 individuals. How many?
45.
45. Well, then with staff, where am I getting the 100?
We serve probably an average of 100 job seekers per year.
Oh, okay.
But at any one moment, there's 45 people working.
Okay.
Supported employees.
All right. Very good. Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
All right. Well, we've been talking here, and Jimmy's been very patient, just kind of sitting here. But Jimmy, you are doing a very cool thing. In addition to the supported employment, the supported workers are learning how to do what?
They're learning how to do mosaic art. I've been teaching them mosaic art for the past year and 4 months on this wall they have in back of the nursery, right at the base of a mountain, really, which is, the birthplace of Tucson. So it's been very special in that regards.
Tell us about
it's
the mosaic. Get a little bit closer to that mic.
Well, the mosaic is, based on things they wanted to see on the mosaic. We did a survey with them, and they wanted certain images on the mosaic, so it reflects that. And it's images you might see while you're driving around Arizona that reflects the sun that we have, or the plant life, the heat, and the history, and the native history that we have here.
This is a pretty large project. It's a large mosaic.
It was a very large project. It took a year and 4 months to do, but it was the most rewarding project I have worked on, and I've been doing mosaics all across the country and have taught all across the country, but I've never worked with the disabled, and they have been so grateful and willing to learn, and the joy that you see in their face, how could you not do it when they achieve something? Because when you're doing art, you're always using your brain, trying to figure out how to do something, how to make it better, and they see that they've done something on this wall, and it brings an awe moment. We all need those awe moments where you just step back and like, I can.
Yeah, right. Aha
and
moment.
We need that in this world. There's not enough of that anymore. So we need a lot of that. And it's brought me a lot of those awe moments, because when I leave, I feel wonderful. Having worked, they've taught me so much about humanity being around them. It's amazing. It really is. I got more out of it than I think they have. I really have. And that's why I'm committed to this whole project. And we're bringing in more artists. I'm just the current artist in residence. But we have 6 more muralists on site that are working on the outbuildings that are coming along, really, not mosaic, painting murals. So the place is going to be known as a gathering place for artists and for plants.
Right.
And, I have found a lot of love and happiness there. I mean, you really do.
I got to jump in. We were talking before this podcast last week, and you said it's literally been life-changing for you.
For me, it has been. Yes, it has.
Why is that?
Well, I've taught all around this country. I've done mosaics around the country, but I quit doing that 20 years ago. And I just focused on my paintings and my garden. I could spend all day in my garden. But I started this with them, and it awoken something in me that I haven't felt. We have to put back in society and give, especially in the times we live in. So when you put other people before yourself and volunteer, it does something to you. It really changes you.
Well, you could do that by, supporting Girl Scouts or whatever.
Well,
this is a different dimension.
It's actually doing something tactile.
You
can touch it and feel it and be there. An experience. It's an experience,
What do you think the workers, the people who are working with you, take away from this or learn most of all?
Well, they've been enjoying it, and we laugh a lot. I make sure I play music. I make sure we have fun while we're doing this. You want to enjoy what you're doing, or don't do it. Life is way too short to waste your time on anything you do not enjoy.
I'll go along with
motto.
that.
You cannot waste your time. And there's abundance of things out there. They can discover something in themselves and maybe not have found. Maybe they didn't know they were an artist. Everyone has the ability to be creative.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Everyone does.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Jimmy, because you don't have to. The term artist for most laypersons sets expectations. They think, well, if I'm going to be an artist, I've got to paint beautifully. I've got to touch, the music just right. But it's a matter of creativity. You don't have to achieve those necessary benchmarks to be an artist, right?
I tell my students, throw that out the window. Nothing's perfect. There are no rules here. Just create. Pick
I
up the brush, start painting, pick up a tile, stick it on. You don't know what's going to happen. Just don't waste your time.
Right.
Time is precious. It goes away.
we could talk for 2 hours on this very easily, but let me turn back to you now. And by the way, the two of you don't have the luxury of seeing what I'm seeing with the monitor, but we have visual aids. That is, we have pictures of the mosaic, and we have
Oh, good.
the logo that we're showing as we talk. And now we're going to put up the flyer for the spring desert sale. So talk about that, Hannah.
Yeah, so every year we have 2 big plant sales and 1 little plant
Oh, by the
sale.
way, we should say where you're located, although I've got the address at the bottom of the screen for this. But let's talk about it. It's at the base of A Mountain on where 22nd turns into what?
Star Pass.
Okay.
Yeah, we're at 1020 Star Pass Boulevard.
Just
You can't
west of
miss
I-10.
us. You can't miss us.
Yeah.
You know, we're 5 acres almost. So
All right. So the spring sale.
yeah, so the spring sale is going to run from March 23rd to the 28th. So that's Monday through Saturday. On the 28th, we will be doing a public mosaic unveiling. So if you happen to stop by for the sale, you can wander to the back of the property, meet some of our fabulous artists, and take a look at this mosaic wall that is, it's quite striking, I have to say.
Yeah. The pictures don't do it justice.
No, because you get the sun. I mean, it's just lovely. And, our property is lovely.
It really is.
It's
Yeah.
a lovely place to be. And I think that the art is just another addition to an already beautiful spot. We're so lucky that the city lets us lease that land. It's quite a blessing.
So Desert Survivors, and full disclosure, my son works there. He loves it. And I love it too, because it provides so much of a world, really. It's not just a job. It's an experience. It's a world. It's something that really helps people validate everything they do. And it's wonderful to see how they can fulfill themselves. But it's not, again, I want to say it's not just the employment. It's the impact that it has on the community. And I invite both of you to speak to that. You start first.
Yeah, I really feel like Desert Survivors. So first, we've been there for over 40 years.
Yeah.
We've been on that property since 1986.
And it's one of the reasons I want to do this podcast repeatedly is because you have been there for so long. Not a lot of people, so many people don't even know you're there.
Exactly.
And all they have to do, they don't even have to buy a plant. They can come by and see what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. My hope is that we become more of a community gathering space. We, of course, have the plant nursery, and we sell some really amazing local desert plants. I think we have often some unique things that you might not find in a more mainstream nursery. But we, as Jimmy mentioned, are adding to the art that's on campus. And it's, I think, an opportunity for folks to experience what a truly integrated environment can feel like. Whenever you go there, you will encounter our supported employees with disabilities. You will see them working. You will see them creating. And that's important because I think in society generally, they're often not so visible.
That's true, and that's a shame.
It is a shame. So this is people's opportunity to come and see what it would really be like if our communities were fully integrated. Because these job seekers are out there and they're looking for a chance.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think even in this day and age, people are so, I don't want to say afraid, but hesitant to embrace the individuals that we're talking about just as if they were anyone else? Why do you think that's, I don't want to call it a stigma, but
I think that's appropriate. I think there is some stigma there still. Nobody likes change. And culturally, it wasn't that long ago that these folks were literally hospitalized for their entire lives.
Institutionalized, right?
Yeah. And parents were encouraged to kind of keep these kids hidden away. They weren't always able to access public schools. It was a very isolating way to live. And that's in our lifetime. So when we're talking about these cultural transitions and how, where we aspire to be as a community, it hasn't actually been that long, and massive amounts of change have happened. So I think the more we experience it firsthand,
right,
the more comfortable we are with it, which is one of the reasons why I really encourage folks to come to Desert Survivors and see what they're missing.
Not just for the spring sale, but for any reason. But again, the spring sale that's coming up, again, the dates of the 23rd to the 28th of March, culminating with the main event on Saturday the 28th, and that's going to include the unveiling of the mosaic. You say, Jimmy, it covers a whole wall?
It's, I measured it. It's about 40 feet by 4.5.
Wow. Yeah. Very cool. Well, like I said.
It is very cool.
Yeah. How long have you been working on it now?
For 1 year and 4 months.
Oh, my goodness, really?
But, I joke with everyone, art cannot be rushed. That's another thing I always tell my students, take your time. I don't care how long it takes you.
Good for you. We've already heard from you, Jimmy, how fulfilling it is for you to do this with the supported workers and what you've gotten out of that. Hey, Hannah, what's the most challenging and the most rewarding thing about running an organization like this?
I think, to me, the most rewarding thing is just watching as people become empowered to be their best selves. I mean, my goal and the goal of the organization is not to tell them what their future should look like, but to help them realize that their future can look like anything they want. And that's extremely rewarding. I think the challenging thing, I hate to say it, it's the funding. This is...
Well, don't... believe me, you're not the only nonprofit dealing with that issue. So talk specifically about the funding. How much do you spend on community donations?
A lot. I mean, to be frank, yes, we have contracts with the state, but those contracts do not pay for everything.
Right.
And so...
And this is very important. You're paying these workers.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Some people may assume you don't, that it's just training.
Right. And, 50 years ago, that would be true. So I understand. Yeah. We pay minimum wage for all of our supported part-timers. Mm-hmm. And right now, minimum wage in Tucson is $15.45.
Right.
So, yeah, it costs money to run this place.
45 workers.
45 supported employees.
At a minimum 15 an hour for 4, 6, 8 hours a day. That adds up very quickly.
Right. And then we have our staff, right? The staff and administration is...
The staff is wonderful.
They are. This is not a job for everyone. So I'm quite thankful when we're able to find such brilliant people. The contract that we have with the state is what pays the staff and administration. And then our supported employees are paid through the businesses that we run, the public-facing businesses. So that's through the nursery and the landscaping contracts.
And you have how many crews that work off-site?
We've got 4 contracts at the moment, always looking for more.
Right. Describe that. How does that work?
Yeah. So generally we contract, we only do commercial, no residential. But generally we contract with other nonprofits that want to support what we're doing. So, for example, we work with Tucson Residents Foundation. They have their main office location, and then 2 of their group homes, we come and do the landscaping for those.
So you send crews out to do that. How many people are on the crews?
4 supported employees and 1 staff member.
Okay, I'm going to turn my attention to Jimmy now. How did you?
Sorry, my allergies are just like
That's all right.
kicking in.
That's all right. Yeah, I was bringing your mic down while you were battling the sniffles there. But how did you find out about Desert Survivors?
Well, I love to garden myself, and I've been shopping there since I've lived in Tucson for 10 years. And I've been shopping there, and I've been inquiring about volunteering there, just, to volunteer being around plants. And I met Hannah, and she said, well, I have this. Well, I mentioned to her that I have done mosaics around the country, and I've worked with large crews. I've had to hire other artists to work with me, so I do know how to manage people, because I had no idea that I was going to be working doing a mosaic. But if she needed someone that knew how to manage people, I could do that, because that's what I used to do. But I'm an artist as well. So anyway, long story short, that's how it worked out. And she goes, I'll show you this wall. She showed me the wall, and we started working on it.
How long have you lived in Tucson?
10 years. 10 years this month, March. 10 years in March.
Came here from where?
Portland, Oregon. But I grew up in Chicago, moved to New York at 26, and then I met a man when I was 27 who taught me mosaics. We did a store called the Suzanne Barsh in New York that got on every design magazine you could think of, and I was his protege. He was teaching me.
Right.
But I learned a lot from him, and then I met other artists along the way. In New York, you meet people that teach you so many things.
Oh, I bet.
And I was just very lucky, and back then it was all word of mouth. I knew an architect, designer. They're like, oh, I have a mosaic artist, and he'd call someone in some other city. I'd go to some other. So, well, I don't even know anything about computers. I don't even have a business card. I don't have a website. Everything was just word of mouth.
You don't need them, Jimmy.
But I built up. I have so many tear sheets from magazines. I mean, things were so different back then, But it's funny, when all that starts happening to you, you realize you don't need it. Because there was a point in my life where I wanted to be the most famous artist in the world, which I think every artist goes through,
Sure.
But when it does start happening a little bit, you're like, well, you're not creating a cure for cancer or anything. The most important thing we can do is go out and help other people.
Well, I like that. Yeah, as long as you have your expectations in line with that, you'll never go wrong.
Well, I hope so. I mean, we just have to be there for one another. That's what we're here for on this planet. Unfortunately, we've lost sight of that.
All right, we're gonna wrap up here pretty soon. Believe it or not, we've been going 30 minutes already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap up. But first, Jimmy, tell me some of the elements in the mosaic that people can expect to see.
Well, the first thing I think they'll see is a big giant sun that's taking over the landscape. And then to the right of the sun are the summer monsoon storms raining down on the mountains and the rains. And then it goes to the middle where the sun is setting. And at the very end is a nighttime sky with the tree of life. And
wow.
You can use your imagination. I mean, art is
the
subjective, not objective. So, I mean, people see things that I don't even see in it. I see things. So it is what it is. It's very colorful, very colorful.
Right, right.
And the people that have worked on it see things that I didn't even see. I mean, they were doing things, they bring out things that I don't even see. So people are going to see things that I don't see. So you just have to go and look at it. And
well, we're going to look forward.
Will enjoy it.
We're going to look forward to the public event on the 28th when people give you their own interpretation.
And I want to make one thing clear. It's really, I want all of the adulation to go to my students and credits to them, because they are really the ones that created this. I just guided them.
Yeah, you were an observer and had a little bit of friendly advice now and then.
And we did have a lot of fun. We did.
Good. Well, you'll continue to.
Oh, of course. Life is too short not to have fun. Attitude and gratitude.
What's next?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to know. I've lived my whole life like that. Who wants to know?
Good point. All right, Hannah.
Yes.
A quick wrap up on what we can expect for the spring event.
Yes.
How many? You get hundreds of people.
Oh, absolutely. So I think the key thing to remember about our plant sales is that every person gets 10% off for the duration of the sale on everything that they purchase. And this is more meaningful than it might sound, because we already don't charge sales tax because we're a charity organization. So 10% really means 10%.
Yeah.
I think that It's a great way for people to dip their toe in the Desert Survivors world. And if you enjoy your shopping time during the sale, we're open. Oh, that's another thing, Jeff.
Yes.
All starting now,
What?
we're going to be open on Sundays.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the nursery will be open Thursday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's new as of March 1st.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Super
Well,
excited.
congrats. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna end this with a full screenshot of the flyer. So we'll speak to that. It's a very, very great event. I think people will get so much more out of it than just buying plants.
Absolutely. Although there's nothing wrong with just buying plants. Let's be clear.
Well, I'll be there trying to, push a few cactus and other desert plants, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, well, thank you to the two of you for being here. Thank you for your work
thank
on the
you.
mosaic.
And I would suggest anyone to come to Desert Survivors. I've been shopping there for years, and you will find things there you won't find anywhere. I mean, anywhere.
Oh, no, I know, it's true. You want to say anything before we close it out? How about thanks to our supporters?
Well, always thanks to our
Let's
supporters.
mention Acacia IT.
Acacia IT is one of our vendors, and we feel quite thankful that we found them. They've been exceedingly generous with us.
They're an IT firm.
A full service
Internet
IT.
technology, yeah.
Yeah, full service IT provider. We work with them to expand our technological infrastructure across campus. We've worked with them to reduce our costs for our phone. They've also donated tablets for my staff to use so that our paperwork can be more efficient.
They're very big on helping nonprofits.
They are an amazing community
What's
partner.
the owner's name?
Greg and Chris. They're wonderful. Both
Their
of
last
them.
name?
Durham.
Durham. Yeah. All right. Well, again, we've got, I took the liberty of taking a screenshot of their website. We mentioned them at the beginning as a sponsor of this show, so there we go.
Yep, they're wonderful folks. If you need anything IT related, reach out to Acacia IT.
Acacia IT. All right. Well, thanks. On that note, we'll show the flyer one more time and say bye-bye.